Welcome back, everybody. Automotive Inc. Today we're in a 2025 Chevy Silverado HD Optimus, and we're going to go over the actual gauge clusters that are in this truck. If you have a custom or a work truck version, or the SLE with or the SLT Pro, whatever they're calling their work truck nowadays, and you have analog gauges with a very small crystal display in the middle, that's the older one. That's not going to be applicable to that one. That one is pretty simple to run through, but it does have a lot of options in it, so make sure you take some time, play with it, and if you want to, you can go back. I will link a video down below with the 24 Chevy Silverado Custom that we had Kong on the channel, and you can check out that because I did a quick little walkthrough on that. But I had a question the other day just kind of saying, hey, how do you get my gauges to look like you have them? Well, they're highly configurable, and these are, in my version, much better than Ford's. I think Ford's is just so generic. They could have done so much more with it. Ram has a newer, also crystal display. I think came out the end of 24. So late production 24s had it. I haven't played with it much. However, it's very similar to what I had in my Jeep Cherokee L from 21. Very similar. So before we get started, please smash the subscribe button. Helps a small channel out, and thumbs up and notification bell. Tons of videos over on the channel, towing videos, reviews, and everything. So please check it out. It is free to do. So when you come to your Sierra or your Chevrolet, you're going to notice that the Sierra uses like a gray and black and red checkered background. The Chevy is blue, along with your crystal display over here. The GMC is going to change the look of their icons here, but it's mostly going to be like grays, reds, and blacks. So either way, no matter which one you have, you can go through it. So we're going to go through step by step how you can kind of just scroll through here and change it. This is my setup, guys. I like it this way with all of my gauges down below. We keep our trans temp over there. You have your clock and your compass in the middle, and then of course you have your digital speedometer, and then my trip information down below, water temp, fuel, battery, and oil pressure. So let's go through it. So on your steering wheel, you're going to have these little scroll buttons right here. This is a scroller and an OK button. So if you wanted to, say, reset your drive summary or whatever, you push and hold this. So if we're on a trip and you want to reset it, you're going to push and hold this. This is your OK button. You can see the little check mark down there for reset. That's how you're going to reset it. But let's navigate through this thing, because if you look right here, Chevy actually gives you definitive lines where each one is. Now for the tachometer, because it's moving, when you raise, you can see how it lightens the bar and then turns the next one yellow, if you will. Let's see if I can get it to scroll by one again. So you can kind of just see that area. It's going to be the same for the speedometer, and that's what I like about these gauges over the Ford ones, because there's just so much detailed information. One thing Chevy is lacking, though, is definitive specific water temp numbers and everything like that in this display. So is what it is. So if you use your right and your left here, you can actually bring up icons, and you'll see the gear cog is your display options, your recent phone, your navigation. So if you had navigation running in the system, it'll pop up over there and in your heads up. We have our music if we were listening to it, but you can see where it has the check mark below. If it has a check mark, you can change it. So you can hit source, and you can go over here and scroll through those. When you're in that screen, you can see up here at the top left, that little back arrow. That's this bad boy right here. So we're just going to go back because I want to show you. And then your information. Your information is where you're going to get 99.9% of your most useful stuff. Unless you just love seeing your radio channel there, it's going to be on there, and it'll pop up in your heads up if you have it. So we're not going to reset anything, but we're going to scroll down through here. You can see you got a trip 1, trip 2, timer. And then if you're going to run a timer, they see that little check mark again, you'll use your scrolling button here. Now we're scrolling through these menus like this, with this going, you can go up or down, and it'll just flip to the next screen. So even if you go all the way to the bottom and you need to get back, it'll be there. We have our tire pressure. We have best fuel economy. We have driver's assistance. We have oil life. We have brake pad life. We have air filter. Now you can see right here where it's giving you an option on menu. You can go in here again. You can disable that feature. I don't know why you would, because you have enough screens to actually set all this up. We have our fuel filter life. Now, if you're going to replace your fuel filter or your oil, you'll scroll to this screen. You'll push and hold to reset, and it'll ask you if you want to do it or not. If you don't want to do it, just hit the back arrow. You'll just hit no, I guess. There's no back arrow, so if you don't want to reset that, you can just click OK. We have our trailer gain and output. We have our off-road screens for pitch and roll. We have our engine hours, transmission fluid, diesel exhaust fluid gauge, and then we have our last page, which is edit. So we're going to go into edit, and I'm going to show you. So we're going to click that. We're going to go over here, and every green checkbox is the screen that you can have. So literally, you can have all of them. Don't know why you'd want a blank page. So I don't have that one checked. So when we go into anything else, we can go to our actual display layout. So Chevy gives you a handful of different looks here if you want. There's a progressive. So this one's pretty sharp and pretty cool. Once we get rid of this screen in the middle, you can go back to your trip and everything. So it's pretty sharp. I like that one. It's a little bit different to get used to. So we go back, we can go to digital, which is a pretty simple screen in itself. It's just going to have digital gauges. That's it. And there's not much to it. And then there's also clean, which is even more super basic. It's a speedometer. There's nothing else up there. So if that's really what you want, you can have that. I haven't ran maps on here, so I don't know if this is similar to the Equinox where you'll have a map on one side, but it'd be pretty slick if it did. I don't really play with that too much. I like keeping it at the classic. So once we go in there, guys, we're going to go back a screen, and then here's where you get to change what you want. Now, you can have some information on the right versus the left. So if we go into left side layout, these are the ones that you can actually change. You can have nothing in there. You can have your fuel economy average. You can have your tire pressure. You can have your time and temp. You can have compass. The only thing this side won't let you have is your actual drive mode, or if you will. So now we're going to go back a screen here, and we're going to go to the right side gauge. So the right side gauge does give you basically all the other options, but it gives you the drive mode, if you will. So if two-wheel drive or off-road or whatever. So let's just pick drive mode, and then let's see if it puts tow haul mode. Yeah, it puts a little trailer behind you. So I guess if you needed to know what mode you're in, because you don't want to look at that little bitty icon, it's a little hard to see down there for when it's in trailer mode, you can. But here's where you, like I said, you can just really customize these gauges to give you the most information that you possibly can. So now we're going to go down here to lower gauges. So lower gauges actually gives you a minimum, and it shows you what it looks like. So not much information there. So now your trailer tow icon will pop up right there, a little bit easier to see, if you will. That little road down there is to do with your adaptive cruise control and everything in your actual drive mode. So sometimes it'll be different colors, but it's your drive mode, that's your standard. Then you can go to medium. It gives you your fuel and water temp. Again, no specific number, but I like maximum. I want all of those gauges up there, because at least if there's no exact number, I know that these right here are the normal operating range, and you can at least see the midpoint. And then, like I said, info page options, it gives you everything that you did before. So it's a little bit of redundancy. You can change your units. Here you can do your speed warning. So if you want to enable a speed warning where, you know, your max speed, your speed sign display, you can pick that how you want it to be. And a plan on just means it shows you. Now, if you don't have the heads up display, this won't be applicable to you, but if you do, this is where you're going to pick your speed limit style and adjust your rotation. And you're going to do that with the knob here. So I'll do a different video on the heads up because this is getting a little long, but you'll do your pitch and roll on it. Just remember to save it, otherwise it won't save it for you. And then obviously save it to your user profile, software information, and of course you can always reset back to defaults. So a lot of customization here, a lot of cool stuff that you can do with that screen, but sometimes there's just a lot of navigation stuff where people are like, I don't even know how to do it. And like I said, if you don't hit that, if you're adjusting any of these settings and you don't hit save with your little scroll bar here, especially on your heads up, it's just going to keep going back. You're like, this is wonky, it doesn't work right. So make sure you save it. And then anything that you do, make sure you save it. If you have user profiles or settings for memory, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have it set to your key fob, you want to make sure that you actually have it saved once you change your display to be the exact way that you want. Now, I will do a video again later on a lot of different things that are in this truck, including the heads up and how to look at that and change it and the information that's available. Heads up on the GM trucks is not as snazzy as the Ford at all. It doesn't have as much information. I think the Ford wins there in the heads-up display, but a lot of people don't need a heads-up. Have a heads-up, or have ever even messed with one. Once you mess with one, you'll probably like it. Even my wife that hates that stuff, she ended up liking it. So, tons more videos coming, guys, so make sure you smash the subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.